What lies ahead for Litecoin in the shorter term and in the longer term? So I am long on Litecoin and quite a bit of the altcoins and Bitcoin as well. So I am bullish on this market right now. That is just my opinion and not financial advice, of course. But I still think that we had a pretty clean break above that 110K level for Bitcoin, which is important because that is still the driver of this crypto markets. If it continues pumping from here, that's going to be very good for the altcoins. And if it dumps from here, that's going to be very bad for the altcoins. But on this video here, we're going to be talking about Litecoin, which has actually been holding up pretty well against this Bitcoin dump, right? You guys can see that Litecoin is actually one of the few greens in here. It was actually more up earlier today versus a sea of red in altcoins, okay? So it actually has been holding up pretty well. So what is happening with Litecoin? I'm going to speak to you guys strictly from a technical analysis point of view because that is mainly how I trade my positions, right? Let's take a look into the weekly time frame for LTC, where I have mentioned that there was a huge falling wedge pattern, right? It hasn't done much for a little while, but we had a sudden pump here in Litecoin, right? About just 2 weeks ago. Before that, it hasn't really been doing too much. And especially during the time I've been holding this coin, but right now I am going towards my break even point. But right now, LTC falling wedge pattern still intact. Okay, had a bear trap back here back in April of this year, but in my opinion, this falling wedge pattern still intact. Price target, if it breaks out, I have adjusted this price target based on where it is right now, and I thought the previous price target was getting pretty close, and I maybe it might not make that, right? So I have you know uh put the measure move a little bit further out. Okay, now the price target is about $180, which is still a huge move for Litecoin here. Okay, now I talked about so that is if Litecoin breaks out of this falling wedge pattern, which markets, which this pattern usually breaks to the upside. Okay, and if it does, the price target would be about $180. Now, price targets are estimates only. There could be more or less. Very much depends on what the market is. I still think we're in a bullish market, but if Bitcoin dumps from here and proves otherwise, then we could be looking at something else instead, right? And I'll come back here and I'll tell you guys my opinion and update the charts for you. I also talked about the smaller falling wedge pattern last time. Okay, so let's just illustrate how a falling wedge pattern could play out. One of the scenarios, right? This last smaller one, price target was about $123. Basically, LTC has met that, and before getting a rejection, going back down to where we are now. Let's zoom in a little bit more and see if we can get any more clarity on what Litecoin could be doing. 4 hour time frame. Okay, another falling wedge pattern. If it breaks out by this point here, price target would be about $124, which would basically take Litecoin to the upper trend line of that bigger falling wedge pattern here. Okay, but all of this aside, still got to be paying attention to Bitcoin first. I don't trade altcoins without a clear understanding of what Bitcoin is doing. Okay, so very important that Bitcoin reverses right now. Otherwise, I would be expecting more downside from these altcoins. Um, so that's basically what I'm seeing from Litecoin here. If you guys want to continue seeing more of Litecoin, make sure to drop a like, comment, subscribe, or let me know what other coins you want to see in this market. And I'll see you on the next one.